Life is brutal. It is both beautiful and brutal. There are very high highs and very low lows. The author Glennon Doyle, who you've probably heard me talk about before, makes up this word, brutal, to describe the combination of those two spaces. I'm sure you're feeling some of that now that we're isolated and quarantined, distant physically from our friends and our family. Each morning, my 3-year-old daughter climbs into my bed for a few minutes of snuggles before the day starts. This was not the case before. Before, I would wake up in the dark, got myself ready and prepared for the day before any of our kids would even start stirring. Now we wake up at the same time, and it's beautiful. These times are precious and lovely and sweet. And then there's the brutal. We buried my amazing grandmother on March 24th in Indiana, and the best I could do was watch the burial on FaceTime. My mother and father were there in person, but stood 6 feet away from anyone else, who in turn stood 6 feet away from anyone else. There was no official service. We didn't sing all of her favorite hymns or read all of her favorite gospels, but mostly we didn't sit around and visit and hug and eat and tell stories and do all the normal things associated with a memorial tribute. These times are brutal. Our life at Safe Haven is no different. Uniquely now, life at Safe Haven is brutal. We have learned about survivors who've been tied up with rope in their own homes by their abusers, survivors who know they cannot escape because their abuser has strategically left a knife by the front door. Survivors, we've learned, have been strangled multiple times just in the course of the last week. The hotline that we run is answered 24/7, 365. It is answered on Christmas and Easter, in the middle of the night, in the heat of the summer. It never closes, not ever. And that certainly includes a pandemic. You'll never find the metaphorical doors to the hotline locked. Recently, we received a call on the hotline that has stuck with me during these long, bizarre COVID days. The survivor called when her abuser left to get essentials from the store. She had a rare opportunity. It was the first time in 3 days that she was both awake and literally not tied to a chair. During the time she was held, her abuser stuck his pistol in her mouth repeatedly. And he said to her, "If you leave, I will kill you." That's not an empty threat. That's real for this survivor, and it's brutal. Because sometimes real life is brutal. And real life is also beautiful. At Shelter, we have a staff person in our children's programs, Tomika. You've probably heard us talk about her before. She is warm and friendly and wonderful and creative. And I don't know how we got so lucky to snag her for Safe Haven, but we did. We normally go all out nuts for Safe Haven birthdays. If a survivor or a child has a birthday while they're at Shelter, they will get a party they will never forget. Birthdays are important. They are renewal. They're a celebration of the importance of your life. Well, we had a baby turning 1 recently after the shelter-in-place order was given. And if you've ever been a mama to a baby turning 1, well, God bless you. You did it 12 months in, and you've made it through the baby phase. Here comes your toddler. Well, Tomika knew she couldn't get to the store during these times to get all of our normal birthday supplies. It wasn't safe for us to use volunteers to help with party decorations or activities, but Tomika knew this was a milestone that we couldn't miss. So she figured out a way to get this baby a nothing bunt cake. You know, the little ones. I don't know the names of them, like Buntinis or Buntlet or, whatever, but it was the little one. For this baby to enjoy it on his first day of being a toddler. And we celebrated this little life, and it was beautiful because real life can be beautiful. Thank you for holding us up when life is brutal, and for celebrating with us when it is beautiful. I believe Safe Haven is the epitome of that new word, brutal. We need you to help us make these times as beautiful as possible for survivors seeking help through Safe Haven. Every dollar you donate tonight supports a family fleeing violence during the COVID-19 pandemic.